Level 1. The Executioner. The most efficient way to erase a civilization isn't with a bomb, it's with a line of code. As a state-level cyber warfare operator in a unit like Russia's Sandworm or China's APT-41, your job is persistence. You ensure the backdoors stay open through every software update and every security patch. Today, you're planting a sleeper, a few lines of logic buried deep within the infrastructure. Invisible to security audits, it waits on a single encrypted signal to wake up. You're currently deep inside the core routing software of a major internet exchange point, the central nervous system of the global web. You've occupied this server for 3 years, waiting for the one signal that turns a quiet presence into a massacre. The upload finishes. You log out of the terminal and grab a coffee. For you, it's just a Wednesday. For the rest of the world, the execution has already been scheduled. Level 2, the State Authority, Strategic Escalation. That's the title of the classified document in your hands. While millions of people argue on social media doom scrolling, you're thinking about something else entirely: national security and geopolitical leverage. As a mathematician, you've watched the geopolitical tension redline for months. You know the enemy's new security patch rolls out at midnight, a digital wall that would render years of the executioner's work useless. Your weapon expires in exactly 4 hours. In this room, the only way to win a war is to ensure the other side can't ever find the start button. Turning the lights out on a billion people is a tactical necessity. A world in the dark is a world where you still hold the upper hand. A verbal clearance is given. A simple string of data hits the sleeper code. With one command, the digital world is sentenced to death. The beauty of it? You will never be held accountable. Protected by layers of plausible deniability and national security laws, you watch as the malware spreads through the veins of the internet at the speed of light. The countdown has begun. Only you and a handful of others in this room know the world's about to go silent. Level 3. The Infrastructure Engineer. The internet is a physical nervous system, and you're watching it bleed out. From a high-resolution command center, you monitor the health of a continent. On a wall of monitors, the global traffic flow looks like a living, pulsing map of light, the heartbeat of hospitals, banks, and power grids. Then the first alarm blares. A critical router at a major internet exchange point stops responding. A cascade of red alerts follows as traffic tries to reroute, only to find the backup systems are already dead. The malware is spreading like a digital wildfire, disabling the very admin tools you need to fight it. You try a hard reset, access denied. You try a remote patch, connection timed out. As the screens turn black, a story from 2011 flickers through your mind. A 75-year-old woman in Georgia was digging for scrap copper with a simple shovel. She accidentally severed a single fiber optic cable, knocking the entire nation of Armenia offline for 12 hours. In this moment, with billions of dollars of technology at your fingertips, you have less power to fix the world than she had to break it. Your career's over. You are watching the end of the information age, in real time, powerless to stop the dark. Level 4, the platform. You're on a train reaching for your phone to check a message. You toggle the Wi-Fi. Then the data. No service. It's just a local outage, you tell yourself. A temporary glitch in a neighborhood tower. But then, you try to load a cached web page. Failed to connect. You open a messaging app. Connecting. One by one, the giants blink out. First, the high-bandwidth video streams and social feeds. Then the encrypted messaging apps. Finally, the news itself. In a single minute, you realize how much of your personality, your memory, and your reality was mediated through these platforms. Without them, you are more than just disconnected. You are alone in a way the human race hasn't been for a century. Level 5. The journalist. You have a source deep inside the government who has just confirmed the impossible. A coordinated, successful strike on the global backbone. This is the biggest story in human history. You have the who, the how, and the why. But you have no way to tell a soul. Your news organization's website is a 404 error. The content management system is a brick. You can't reach your editor. The corporate Slack is a graveyard. You think about printing flyers like a revolutionary in the 1920s, but even the office printers are networked. They're as dead as the servers. You're reminded of the 2021 Facebook outage, when engineers were physically locked out of their own server rooms because the digital door locks ran on the same crashed network. They had to use an angle grinder to cut through their own security just to save the company. There's a grim irony here. You possess the most important information in the world, yet it's dying in your throat because there is no signal to carry it. Your professional purpose has vanished. Without verified information, there's only rumor, panic, and the kind of fear that turns neighbors into enemies. Level 6. The business owner. You stand in the middle of your store, your restaurant, or your warehouse. The lights are on, the inventory is on the shelves, and the doors are open. But your business is a corpse. You reach for the point-of-sale system to ring up a customer. Useless. You can't process a card, verify a gift code, or even pop the cash drawer. You try to log into your bank to see if you can at least pay your staff. Access denied. Your employee records, payroll, tax history, and supplier orders, all of it was optimized into a subscription service. You don't even know who owes you money or which bills are due tomorrow. A lifetime of work, sweat, and risk has evaporated into a server farm you will never see. You are financially ruined in a single afternoon. But the deeper stake is the collapse of trust. The entire modern economy is built on a collective hallucination. The belief that digital numbers on a screen have value. You are discovering in real time that they were just pixels. Level 7, the ordinary citizen. You're a stranger in your own city, and the sun is the only clock you have left. It's been 24 hours since the silence began. You need to reach a family member across town, but your GPS is a spinning circle of death. You realize you don't own a physical map. You've driven these streets 1,000 times, but you never actually learned them. You just followed a blue line on a screen. You need cash for fuel. The ATMs are dark. You need medicine. The pharmacy systems are down. They can't verify your prescription or even open the digital lockers where the narcotics are stored. Every simple task of survival now requires a network connection you took for granted. A memory from the old world flickers in your mind, the Carrington event. In 1859, a solar flare hit the Earth so hard that telegraph wires literally burst into flames. NASA estimates that if a storm of that magnitude happened today, it would fry every satellite and melt the transformers of the power grid. You always assumed the end of the world would be a human decision, a war or a meltdown. You never considered the sun could just turn us off. The odds of it happening in any given decade, 12%. Your safety is gone. The systems providing your food, water, and navigation have failed. This is no longer about your digital rights. It's about the calories in your pantry and the locks on your door. Level 8. The government. You are a mid-level official at an emergency management agency. In the old world, this office was the last line of defense. You had protocols for floods, fires, and even nuclear fallout, but every single one of them shared a single point of failure, the network. The emergency alert system is a ghost. You can't reach state governors. The encrypted VoIP lines are dead. You can't coordinate first responders because the digital trunking for their radios has crashed. There is no God's eye view of this crisis. The satellites have stopped sending data, and the ground sensors have gone dark. The irony is a physical weight in the room. In the attempt to cripple a foreign enemy, the state has discovered the fatal flaw of digital warfare. The weapon has no borders. You are sitting in a billion-dollar room watching your nation dissolve into a collection of isolated city-states, unable to send even a help signal to the next town over. Level 9. The patient. You're a person who trusted the system. Your life depends on a miracle of modern medicine, a pacemaker, an insulin pump, or a remotely monitored ventilator, but the lifeline has been severed. The device in your chest is still trying to handshake with a cloud that no longer exists. At your bedside, the nurses are flying blind. Your digital medical records, your allergies, and your history have all vanished into the black. They need a replacement part, but the just-in-time supply chain has collapsed into a pile of unrouted shipping containers 1,000 miles away. You're reminded of a story from 2020. A ransomware attack on a German hospital forced them to turn away an emergency patient who died in transit. It was the first documented death caused by a cyber attack. Now you are that patient multiplied by millions. The first line of code written by the executioner has finally reached its target, you. The stakes are no longer digital, they are terminal. Level 10. The child. You are the first generation of the new silence, growing up in the ruins of an invisible empire. Born a year after the blackout, the internet is a myth to you, a fairy tale told by parents huddling around a wood stove. They talk about a magic glass that could answer any question or show a face from across the ocean. You listen, but you don't really believe them. To you, the world's only as far as you can walk in a single day. Knowledge is now local and oral. You learn how to sharpen a blade, how to save seeds, and how to tell if water is safe to drink. You do not learn about the Renaissance, the moon landing, or the laws of thermodynamics. That information was stored on a server that no longer has a heartbeat. 5 centuries of progress deleted. The collective memory of the human race erased. You are now living in the first hour of a new dark age, and the lights are never coming back on.